Right now, it is 4:53 on Drive.
5 Live Drive.
Right, let's bring you up to date with what's happening in the race for the Tory leadership. Penny Mordaunt has been knocked out after the latest round of voting. Rishi Sunak secured the most votes among Conservative MPs, with Liz Truss coming second. It means the pair will campaign to be the next leader of the Conservative Party and our next Prime Minister. Sir Graham Brady announced the results of the vote a little bit earlier.
The numbers of votes cast for each candidate is as follows. Mordaunt, 105, Sunak 137, Truss 113. Therefore, Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss will be the candidates going forward to a final ballot of Conservative Party members. The ballot will close on the 2nd of September, and I will announce the results at 12:30 p.m. on Monday, the 5th of September.
Albie Amankona is a political commentator and co-founder of Conservatives Against Racism. Albie, were you surprised at just how close it was in the end?
It was a very close result, but ultimately, after the ballot results came out yesterday and Kemi Badenoch was knocked out of the race, I think many commentators and MPs were predicting that the majority of Kemi Badenoch's supporters would flock around Liz Truss, and that is exactly what they've done. I think she received 27 more votes than what she had the day before.
What do you think it was about Penny Mordaunt that they just weren't fancying?
Well, ultimately, Penny Mordaunt had a very strong start with her campaign last week. But then it seems the more that the public saw of Penny Mordaunt, the less they liked of her. But she was very popular within the membership. Liz Truss also, it looks like she had the backing of newspapers like the Daily Mail and lots of support from Suella Braverman's campaign after she was knocked out. And I think that's probably what tipped it for Truss in the end.
Albie, what do you think this will do, the Truss versus Sunak debate, discussion, head-to-head over the next 6 weeks or so for the Conservative Party? Because we've already had a little bit of a flavour of it for the last two debates.
Ultimately, I think it's going to be a really lively debate and a real battle of ideas. On one side, you've got Rishi Sunak, who wants to really continue on the economic policy that he had been pursuing post-COVID, keeping taxes at the same level as they are for now, but promising to lower taxes when inflation comes down and really doing everything possible to tackle inflation as much as possible and maybe help more people through the cost of living crisis with more handouts perhaps in the autumn, whereas Liz Truss really is trying to differentiate herself as a tax cutter. She wants to lower taxes, she wants to reverse the national insurance contributions rise, and she wants to look at the corporation tax rise as well next year. But then the question is, how do you fund it? So it's going to be a real battle of ideas that now goes on within the Conservative Party, and it's certainly going to be interesting to watch to see who comes out on top.
A battle of ideas may be one thing, but in terms of the polarised nature of each of those candidates' views, particularly, as you mentioned, on the economic front, I mean, that's not going to go well, is it, necessarily, for the Conservative Party?
I think it could go one of two ways. And I think what we've got to remember is a lot of the debates and discussions that go on now will be in private within the party membership. There'll be hustings and so on and so forth. Maybe we won't see any more TV debates from the pair after they both pulled out of the Sky TV debate, which was cancelled earlier on this week. And I think actually within the party, from what I'm hearing, it's a debate that the party really wants to have. There is definitely a wing of the party that wants to see tax cuts and wants to see economic growth and really wants to see a departure from the economic consensus that we've seen over the pandemic. And there is another wing of the party that wants to see what Rishi Sunak continue with his fiscal policy and his fiscal rules going forward. So I think it's a debate that the party needs to have. And I'm sure that whatever happens with whoever wins at the end of this leadership race in about 7 weeks' time, the party will hopefully reunite around the new Prime Minister and go on to deliver the manifesto pledges that we made in 2019 and hopefully win the next election.
One name for me, just briefly, because we're running out of time. Who's going to win?
Oh, I think it's too early to say at the moment.
Just the name.
But I think it's too early to say at the moment, but I would say, just judging from what I've heard from the membership, there seems to be a real anyone but Rishi mood at the moment, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was Truss.
OK, thanks very much for that, Albie Amankona, who's a political correspondent.